Let me connect with y'all through this message right quick. Know what I'm saying? White Jesus is the white path that leads to destruction. Hey, what's up? It's Patrick. It's Rose via Fire. And I pray this message reaches who it needs to reach. So let's talk about white Jesus is the white path that leads to destruction. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to keep it real with you, bro. Hey, I know y'all see, and I know y'all hear the title. Know what I'm saying? I know y'all see the title. I know y'all hear the title. White Jesus is the white path that leads to destruction. Know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, bro. So many people is gonna end up in hell and they're gonna end up in the lake of fire simply because they refuse to let go of white Jesus. Let me repeat that one more time. So many people gonna end up in hell and in the lake of fire simply because they refuse to let go of white Jesus. They're not gonna make it to heaven, bro. Know what I'm saying? Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Which Jesus said that? The true black Messiah. People like to argue. Man, you wanna know why? You wanna know something? You wanna know when something has the truth about it? When there's so much argument going on around it, so much debates going on around it, so much controversy going on around it. When Jesus was walking the earth, he was causing all types of controversy everywhere that he went. You know what I'm saying? When black Jesus is mentioned, controversy. When white Jesus is mentioned, everybody's silent. Everybody don't even care, bruh. Know what I'm saying? Jesus came to tear down all these lies, bro. He was tearing down all these lies and all these traditions and all this stuff, man. And I'm telling you, bro, when you mention black Jesus, bro, we already know Jesus is black. We already know, like, bro, we already know now. You know what I'm saying? We've been knowing now. We've been knowing that Jesus is black. We know. But it's like these people holding on to white Jesus. They not gonna make it, bro. They not gonna make it, bro. They not gonna make it to heaven. And you gotta understand, white Jesus is the white path that leads to destruction. Some people may be like, well, is God really gonna send you to hell because you don't let go of white Jesus? Y'all playing with God. You go mess around and find out. These people be playing with God, bro. And you gotta understand, bro. People is holding on to Christianity, right? By default, they follow in the white Jesus. That's the crazy part. That's the scary part right there. These people holding on to Christianity, by default, they following a white Jesus. So the reason why a lot of Christians be like, color doesn't matter, it's not about color, because they already locked in the Jesus that they want to follow. You got to pick a side. Is you following the white Jesus, the false white Jesus, or is you following the true one, black Messiah? Which one you following? Oh, it's not about color, it's not about race and this and that. Bro, nobody said that we was racist for talking about Jesus as black. Why is it? Look at this reverse psychology right here, though. Look at the reverse psychology. When we talk about black Jesus, we racist, right? But when they put up all these images of white Jesus, they not racist. Look at that reverse psychology. Who is to say that it's not the other way around? Who is to say that it's the people who's promoting and worshiping white Jesus? That's them that's racist. Who's not to say that? Look at that reverse psychology, bruh. Crazy, bruh. But look, though, these Christians, by default, they follow in the white Jesus. They don't even have to. It's a decision that's already wrapped up in Christianity. By default, they follow in the white Jesus. When you in Christianity, when you a Christian, by default, you get what I'm saying? By default, you have picked to follow a white Jesus. It's a default setting of Christianity. It's the default setting of Christianity. And a lot of people, they don't want to listen. Bro, these people is hard-headed. Christians is the most hard-headed people of all time. Christians, bro. Christians is the most hard-headed people in the universe, bro. Man, it's not about color. Oh, let's not focus on color. What do you mean let's not focus on color? How do we know who is the true Messiah without actually knowing his identity, bruh? You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's not about color. What do you mean it's not about color? How do you know which Jesus you're following if you don't even know which Jesus you're following? That don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? That's like, I'm gonna give y'all an example, right? That's like, let's say you're getting married. Let's say you're getting married. Let's say you're a woman and you're getting married and your husband is black. And you go to the wedding and you see a white husband. You go, oh, it's not about color. No, you're gonna be like, who is that? Who is that? So the same exact logic. It's not racism. You know what I'm saying? It's not racism that you're asking that question. It's the truth of the identity, bruh. Bro, this is like the most common sense ABC type stuff of all time, bruh. But these people, bruh, they gonna hold on to them lies, bro. These people gonna hold on to them lies. You know what I'm saying? Christianity is the white man's religion. Christianity is the white man's religion. Christians gonna be like, oh, you know, Christianity is not the white man's religion. They gonna be like, Christianity is not the white man's religion and this and that, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? They gonna come up with all these excuses of Christianity is not the white man's religion. They gonna be like, what's that excuse they be using? They be saying Christianity was in Africa before Europe and this and that, bro. Bro, Christianity and following Jesus is not the same thing. This is what we be trying to tell these people. These people don't listen, bro. Christianity and following Jesus, not the same thing, bro. Following a black Jesus is totally different from Christianity. And this is why the enemy likes to erase the lines, bro. The enemy likes to erase those lines to confuse people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Jesus never told you to create a religion about him. Jesus say, follow me. Being a follower of Jesus, the black Jesus, it is not the same. Know what I'm saying? Being a follower of the black Jesus is not the same as following Christianity. The reason why Christians gonna get left behind is because they done chose religion over Jesus. White Jesus is the white path that leads to destruction. You want the evidence? The population of Christianity is 2.6 billion people. 2.6 billion people. Let's use our critical thinking skills. Because these people, critical thinking skills have left the window, bruh. How in the world is the narrow path 2.6 billion people? Oh, you know, all these Christians ain't real, they lukewarm. Even with that logic, let's use critical thinking skills once again. Oh, these are lukewarm Christians, not real Christians. Even with that logic, the numbers are still too big. It's not the narrow path. Even if like a billion of them was lukewarm or whatever, it's still, the logic is still not making sense. You get what I'm saying? And then, even if they are a real Christian, they are still following a false religion. So whether they are lukewarm Christian, real Christian, they still following Christianity, a false religion. Confusion, bruh. One thing, bro, when you notice these Christians and you tell them about black Jesus, they don't accept him. Have y'all noticed that? You tell these Christians about black Jesus, they don't accept him. What's wrong with these people? Because by default, they follow in white Jesus. You gotta pick a side, bro. You either follow in religion in white Jesus or you follow in black Jesus. You gotta pick a side. And if you do not pick the right side and follow the true black Messiah, you're gonna find yourself in the lake of fire, bro. and you're going to be standing in front of God on Judgment Day, and God is going to tell you the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? You could be white and follow a black Jesus. You could be black and follow it. Let me repeat that one. You could be white and follow a black Jesus. You could be black and follow a black Jesus. You could be Asian and follow a black Jesus. You could be Mexican and follow a black Jesus. Don't matter the race. Follow black Jesus. That's it. What is so hard to understand, bruh? 2.6 billion population of Christianity. What about that screams narrow path, narrow path? White Jesus has such a large population. White Jesus has such a large population. White Jesus is so loved. White Jesus is so loved. He has such a large population. 2.6 billion people. White path that leads to hell. Ding, ding, ding. Like, it's not clicking, bro. Like, what's going on with these people, bro? These people is slow. I'm going to keep it real with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking down on these people, bro. But I'm keeping it real. These people is slow as hell, bro. These people is not smart. Bro, ding, ding, ding. Hell, bro. Real talk, bro. But look, though. Another reason why it matters that you identify which Jesus you follow in is because with a different Jesus comes a different gospel. The real true black Messiah does not think the same as this false white Jesus. They don't think the same. They don't have the same gospel. They do not think the same. They don't have the same beliefs. They don't follow the same truth. They don't have the same truth. Two different Jesus, different gospel. You got to pick a side, bro. Do you see why it's important? So anytime these Christians be like, oh, it's not about color, da, 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 it is literally about identifying who are you following. Are you following the true black Messiah, or are you following the false white Messiah? You got to pick a side. Because if you pick the white Jesus, you're going to find yourself in hell. Because Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Which Jesus said that? The true black Messiah. We know Jesus black. These people don't want to follow black Jesus because that's the narrow path. You get what I'm saying now? Following black Jesus is the narrow path. Following Christianity is the wide path that leads to hell. Following Christianity and white Jesus is the wide path. Do you get what I'm saying? Narrow is the path that leads to eternal life. Black Jesus is hated, bro. Black Jesus caused controversy everywhere he go because he's the truth. White Jesus, y'all see what's going on? People be making memes about white Jesus. White Jesus is soft. White Jesus is allowing people to live how they want to live. No conviction, watered down stuff. These Christians walking in fairy tales. That whole Christian mindset of walking in fairy tales. God is love, the grace of God. Ta-da-da-da-da. God is love, butterflies, the grace of God. I'm walking in a bubble. That's the white Jesus mentality. Do you see what I'm telling you, bro? With a different Jesus comes a different mindset and a mentality, bro. These people have a mentality of flower butterflies, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Y'all see it for what it is, bro. But look, though, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say right there, man. Know what I'm saying? I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand the most common sense stuff of all time. I don't know, bro. But hey, God did not choose to open their eyes. Know what I'm saying? Their eyes and their ears, they don't have that gift of having open eyes and ears. God did not open their spiritual eyes and their spiritual ears. That's why they will never get it, bro. They will never get it. They're going to hold on to their lies. They're going to hold on to Christianity and the white Jesus. They're going to find themselves in the lake of fire. On Judgment Day, they're going to be like, oh, why? You was following the white path that leads to destruction. You was following a religion, the number one religion in the world with 2.6 billion people. What in the world screams narrow path about that? Oh, it's different denominations and this and that. They all following the white Jesus, bruh. What is you talking about, bruh? This is common sense, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, sometimes you gotta get heated for the message, bro, and keep it real. Cause these people playing with their soul, bruh. But hey, y'all gonna be on judgment day. Y'all gonna be crying and screaming, oh, we didn't know, we didn't know. Okay, okay. You know what I'm saying? Peace.